Okay, number one, what's the objective for this? Objective is what you want to know. What's the objective? I don't put numbers, just put objective. Because we have practiced this earlier. Objective. What do you want to know? To test if among those who were treated by specialists, as if among those who are treated by specialists, the blood sugar or sugar level, the sugar level is under better control compared to those, right? Right. Compared to those who are treated. We're talking about the same thing. Template. Okay. Compared to those who were treated by medical officers. All right. So that's what you want to know. Objective is what you want to know. To test if among those who were treated by a specialist, the sugar level is under better control compared to those who are treated by medical officers. Agreed? Agreed?
Yes.
Right. Thanks. How do you conduct the research? How do you conduct the research? Right? The research method, let's put method. Okay, method. Say example, just give an example. 20 diabetic patients treated by specialists and another 20 diabetic patients treated by medical officers. Medical officers will be selected randomly. Now you understand what specialists and medical officers, right? Class, you understand, right?
Yes.
Right. From their records, go back records, medical records, from the medical records. Okay. The last HbA1c, 1c from for the medical, the last HbA1c results will be recorded. 1c values are right. Will be updated. That's all. Simple, straightforward. Next, what analysis we'll do here? What's the type of analysis we'll do?
T-test.
T-test. Independent samples T-test. What's the assumption in this test? One assumption in this test. T-test, what's the assumption?
Normal distribution.
Variances must be similar. If not sure, go back and refer to the notes. must be similar. So the objective, we have the objective, number one. Number two, the method. How do you go about doing the research? The method. These questions will make you think and what we have done before. Analysis. What analysis you'll be doing? What's the assumption in the analysis? Number three. You can put number 1 to 3, still okay. And finally, the results and the conclusion. Right. Say this is my data. Some treated by specialists, some treated by medical officers. This is HbA1c level recorded from the records. We don't have to go and measure blood from the record. Take out the record, the last registered HbA1c value we obtain. So this is the data. So we said independent sample t-test. We agree independent sample t-test here. And that's the assumption. So go to analyze, compare mean, independent sample t-test, test value, fasting sugar level, grouping variable, group. If not mistaken, label as 1 and 2. You know, check first. 1 and 2. Click OK. Right, specialist, medical officers. I took 20 from each group. Okay, results. The mean is HbA1c levels among the patients, diabetic patients, treated by specialists, and MO, medical officer, MO, were 7.64, 2 decimals enough, plus minus 'okay. Plus minus, where is it? Okay, plus minus what value? Can somebody read what's the plus minus there? What is standard deviation for specialists? Come on, class, read 0.48 and medical officers 7.29 plus minus
0.
0.70.
0.70.
0.70. So let's move to 70. So you're telling here. Right? So t-test. So we know assumption must be tested first. What's assumption? The variances, you can see variances. So the p-value test of equality of variances was 0.6, right, which is more than 0.05. And assumption is met. Right? And the test of mean difference. Right. So that's a mean p-value for test of equality of means. So one is test of equality variance, that's a value. So this value is more than 0.05, stay on the first row. So that's the p-value for test of means. In the test of mean difference, in the test of equality of means, the p-value was
0.1.
0.09, which is
No association.
0.05. Hence, there is no difference.
No.
And there is no significant difference. No significant difference. And the mean HbA 1c values between patients treated by specialists
And
those treated by MOs. Okay. Conclusion, we'll follow the objective to test among those treated is it better. The conclusion, there is no significant difference in sugar control, blood sugar control. In two group of patients. I can write patients treated by specialists. I can write here two patients treated by specialists and those treated by no significant difference, sugar level control between the patients treated by specialists and those treated by MOs. Be more specific. What is expected? We're going to bring it up here. Results. Right. So this scenario says, state objective, describe how the research can be conducted, means how the data can be collected. Okay, research means how the data can be collected, state the appropriate data analysis can be used, one assumption, results, and conclusion. So objective is to test if among those who are treated by specialists, the sugar level is under better control compared to those treated by medical officers, right? To test if, maybe you can put here among the diabetic patients, right? Diabetic patients who are treated test if among the diabetic patients who are treated by specialists, the sugar level better control compared to those treated by medical officers. Method, we take 20 patients treated by the specialist. Okay, this 50 is the number, okay? So what do? You look at the data and say how many in the data. The data here we have 40, you put a 40 according to the data later, right? By specialists and by officers randomly. So where you get the data, we now going to take the blood results from the record, medical record. You're going to take the 40 pure medical record and check the last known HbA1c and record it. So since there are two groups, specialists and medical officers, one variable which is HbA1c. So look at the data. One is qualitative, other one quantitative. The qualitative, there are two groups. Therefore, will be indefensibility test. What's the assumption in this? Check the notes. Variances must be similar. Do the analysis. Recall the mean values. Test the equality of means. And then test equality variance. Then test the equality of means. What does it mean here? And say what it means. And conclusion, since the p-value is more than 0.05, there's no difference. Our objective is there a difference? Answer, there's no difference. Are we clear on this?
Yes.
Right. So there are six scenarios for your assignment 2, right? For assignment 2. So this assignment 2, all right. So, okay. Okay. So this assignment 2. That means I've done number 1, right? Right. Fortunately for you, I've done number 1. Okay. So under scenario 1, specialists and the MOs already written for here. The data is given to you. Analyze it based on the method you decided. State the assumption. Analyze this. Check whether the assignment is met or not. Okay, whether the assignment is met, and go ahead with your actual objective testing. And finally, write the conclusion. So there are 6 scenarios, out of which already done 1. You continue doing all the 6. So that's the assignment number 2. This will summarize whatever you've done so far. All these are called univariate analysis. So next week, we're going to intermediate. These are basic stats. Next week, we are moving to intermediate statistics, where we're doing more multivariate analysis. Right? In a PhD or master's thesis, what I've done so far may not be sufficient unless you're doing lab experiment with some animals. As long as you do some testing among human beings are not homogeneous, so these tests cannot be used. This is for building your understanding of the basic steps. Right? So that's how your result reports will look like. Don't put any tables. Don't copy and the paste tables, no need. Right? Somebody do the copy and the paste the table. I don't want that. You copy and paste table, I'll deduct marks. I want to write precisely what you understand from you. Right? That is okay. Don't copy and paste. I don't want the table. That's why you're practicing all this while. You write it. So when I show this now, is it more or less your appendix? Sorry, your abstract? Is it like your abstract? Something like your abstract?
Yes.
Yes. Right? If I remove these two, that's basically abstract. Right? objective, method, result, conclusion. So try to practice that way. How well can you present it? Doing the analysis is one thing, presenting in a meaningful and concise manner, simple manner. That's very important. Are you okay with this? I'll send you this and also record it. I'll send you both. You make best use of it. Remember, this is 25%. Already done one. Remainder, there are 5 scenarios. Each one will carry 5 marks. Okay, already done one. And there are 5 other scenarios. Each one carry 1 mark. So already done this. You can still report this. You can still report scenario number 1. But I'll be marking only from 2 onwards. Okay, you can still report number 1. Then the flow will be there. Is that understood? So here title, this scenario 1. You don't have to write all this again. Really written objective, method, analysis, assumption, results, and conclusion. That's enough. But make sure you put there scenario number 1 and continue scenario number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Questions?
When is the due date?
The due date will be next Tuesday. Okay, never mind, next Thursday. I'll give 1 week. Dama, do you need 1 week?
Yes,
Do you need
Yes.
1 week for this?
yes, Prof.
1 day can finish, right?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. So there's no rush. Even do one day, you need 5 days. The faster you do, better it is. Right? So your assignment due date is next Thursday. I give more time. Right? Precisely like this. Something like this. Of course, not be exactly like this. Something quite close to this. All right? So today, that's all with the class.
Professor,
Yeah.
there's another, I saw you sent another template for assignment too.
Okay, that's only today's one. Take only today's one. The one I sent earlier, right? Don't take it, okay? Only the one sent today.
Meaning that we only use the one you, that contain like total 6 scenario, right?
Right? If I show you this, I sent something earlier, ignore those. Right? Assignment 2, ignore this two. Right? Only go down to today's, whatever sent. So this is a day assignment 2, and these are the data.
Okay.
Assignment 2, there are 6 scenarios. You already done 1 and use only this data for that scenarios. Are we clear?
Yes.
Yes.
If somebody asks, how many must I do? 1? No, all 6. This is a summary of what I done here. This is just a template, how we did here just now. So I'm going to send this again, try for you to make some reference, that's all. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Any other questions?
No.
All right, we're going to stop today. Go and complete the logistic regression, how to create a table. You want to start, you can start doing your assignment. So let you go earlier today. So next week, we go into higher level intermediate statistics. That's what you may need in your PhD or master's, not this at all. But this is for understanding the basics. All right?
Okay.
Okay. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye. See you next week. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
See you.
This is HbA1c. HbA1c